Hey everyone, Void Ranger coming at you with a review for Kiramaizin from Mashin Gattai Kiramager. This is the newest full mecha combination for Super Sentai right now, and it's pretty neat. I really like this. I mean, it's sparkly and gaudy and tacky in a good way, so of course I love it. And this is also kind of the first Sentai I've not watched, but I've kind of followed along since the beginning, so I'm weirdly attached to it already. So let's just kind of dive into it and look at it. It has quite a few modes. At first, it kind of looked not simple per se, but it kind of steps back to basic mecha, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but there's no lights or sounds or anything. There's no electronic gimmicks, but it kind of harkens back to that time where there were multiple combinations just in the base item, and it can transform in multiple different ways with just the 5 of them, which is really neat. So right now you see them in their KIRAMAI STONE, I guess formation. That's not really a formation, but like I said, I'm not super familiar on the Sentai, like the necessarily the terminology, but you know what I mean. And I'm just gonna apologize if I pronounce anything wrong. This is not my specialty. I'm already bad enough at English, much less Japanese words written in English, so we'll start here with yellow. Like I said, I really like these designs. Let's see if I can get it to focus for you, but they're solid, but of course you have the clear plastic, which just gives the gem aesthetic a bit more oomph, if you will. But I really like this, and it reminds me of Yoku-Ryo? I don't know. From Ryu Soldier with its clear, like, plastic, which, you know, I don't know if that was the plan or not, but that really kind of seems like a prototype in a way for this line, because I don't remember seeing a lot of clear plastic on anything prior to that. So, but I do like it. I like how you can see there's, like, on the inside, there's like a holographic holofoil Pokemon card terminology sticker, and these are all over the set to kind of give it that gem feel. And obviously this is Yellow's mecha, which is actually called Machine Chevello. Chevello. Yeah, sounds like a weird word, but go ahead and transform it to its machine form, and it's a crane, and you can move this out. You can't open it, but you can move it, and it's very tiny. This is a very small set, which isn't necessarily inherently a bad thing, but it is almost shocking how tiny it is at first. But I've gotten used to it. I like it, so it is what it is. But there's that. It's very simple. Actually, it does have little wheels. I don't know if the plastic is, the lighting's weird, or red is just so big that he takes up the focus. Move him out of the way. But there are wheels here, so that does roll around and stuff. So anyhow, moving on to green. I really like this color. It's not just like your typical green in Sentai. I don't know, it looks kind of like a Kelly green, a forest green, but obviously crystallized. But it's a pretty simple design, and it's pretty easy to transform back. You just fold these 2 pieces out, and boom, you have Machine Machine Mach, which is the race car, if you can't tell. And of course race cars have wheels, which are right there. Fun thing is in the show and in the toy line, there's a red version of this, which I think to get the toy you had to win some kind of pre-order lottery, which I did not win. So I don't have that yet, but I'm sure they'll re-release it or something and I'll get it eventually. But you can see the holographic sticker I was referring to is right there, so it kind of gives that good sparkly feel. Something about this too, and this is kind of a spoiler for the transformation, but this thing really reminds me of Red Lightning from Turbo. Granted, this is green, so it would work better if it were the red model, but if you remember in the first episode of Turbo, and presumably Car Ranger as well, I guess it would be the first episode, I don't know, but Elgar's like chasing Tommy, and he opens up and the head of the Turbo Megazord like looks at him and it distracts him, and that's totally the vibe I got from this immediately. I was like, oh, that's cool. So whether it was intentional or not, I don't know, but it's pretty neat. We'll save red for last. So here you've got the pink, which is Machine Helico, which is a helicopter once we get to that point. Clearly the most sparkly, I think, just because of the length of the propeller blades forming the stone. That said, pink is the one I probably have the most issues with as a toy. I like that it's got a lot of pink on it, even though there's a good amount of white as well. It's not just subtle hints of pink with lots of white, but parts like ideas, like however they decided to design this, some of it's weird to me, and it might just be my set, which obviously I got brand new, but this Zord, this mecha, is the one that feels the most flimsy to me. The propellers are very loose, come off pretty easily. I mean, they do spin around 360 degrees, which is, you know, kind of essential for a helicopter, but we'll talk more about that as we transform it. But I do like how it looks, and it's neat to see like a helicopter. I don't remember the last time we saw that. I think it was RPM, but I like all the little pink details on it, and how this is kind of a metallic silver, and then you've got, of course, the clear or silver, metallic pink, or rose gold. Not really, it's just pink. But I do like that they embrace that it is a pink mecha. So here you have Machine Jetter. That doesn't spoil it for you. It's a jet. Right now, it's a stone, supposedly. But I do like how, even if these are, you know, if you're in stone form, you're supposed to point the colored bits out. But I like that they all have a way to kind of fold up and become something else. Like, it reminds me of like when the Rescue Zords could become machines or cars, you know, like fighting robots. I guess not machines, but you know what I mean. You got your sparkles over here. It's a nice shade of blue, so that's cool. But you open this up. Well, I guess you don't have to do it that way, but you fold the wings out, and then you just fold that forward, and you've got the jet mode, which is pretty awesome looking. I like how it looks. The eyes kind of give me like a creature vibe, like it's supposed to be. I'd say eyes, but I guess they're supposed to be like lightning bolts, because the cockpit's there. It's oddly not painted, which I think they should have done the metallic blue, kind of like they did with the cockpit of pink. But I do really like how this one looks. It's a cool, fun design. So it's also got a wheel down here, which is hard to see, and then it's got some here on the back as well. I don't remember. Oh, it actually rolled. Pink does not, so, which makes sense because a helicopter is not going to roll, but it's just something to note. And the big boy of this set is Machine Fire, which is a fire truck. It's big, which isn't saying much because, like I said, all of these are kind of small. It is the centerpiece of the 5, which we've kind of gotten in a habit of making 5 the big one and having everybody else be kind of almost like an auxiliary Zord or mecha. In this case, I don't mind it because they all have an equal part mostly. It doesn't feel like red is like supposed to be the primary one. I know that's a weird thing to say. Even though he is, it doesn't feel like it's Red Zord featuring the other four. They do all serve to form something else. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but if you look back at like Dino Charge's mecha, clearly the red one was supposed to be the big main core. It was arms, legs, head, feet, chest, and then everything else was arms. Like, not arms, but like hands. So this doesn't quite feel that the same way. So it's pretty easy to transform though. You just pop this up backwards and just fold that forward. And suddenly you have a fire truck, which is kind of neat looking. It's almost comic book inspired in my opinion. Like this, I say this a lot in different reviews, but it gives me like almost like Mega Man vibes, like something I'd expect there. The other one's not quite as much, but this one does. I like that it's not just the same fire truck we've seen every season, and the little hints of white on all of them that have it, but especially this one kind of stand out. It looks good. Not all of them have white on them, but actually green is the only one that doesn't, but it's not the point. The point is I like the design and the aesthetics of it. He's obviously got a ladder here, which isn't too crazy. It does move a little bit. You can adjust it there and kind of swing it around. It's kind of neat because almost like light speeds, or not, yeah, like light speeds, you can rotate that out, and then there's a little switch here at the bottom, and you can push it forward to extend it, so it gives it a little bit of playability. You can't really position it, you have to kind of click it into place, and that's kind of flimsy, which is a little weird, but I don't know, it's fine. I don't super like play with these, but I guess kids would enjoy it. So let's get you kind of a look, but this is the same set all at in their vehicle mode. So it's a good looking set though. Like I said, I like the crystal and the metallic-y gem aesthetic they're going for. It's really up my alley. So the neat thing is, you would think, well, the next step would be to combine them all, which is kind of true, but these come as a set and they form two individual smaller mecha before combining into the main star of the show, Kiramaizin. So it's kind of neat that they have that option. We'll start with the smaller ones, but you combine the two air-based toys into a combination that is called Sky Mage, which is fitting. You take Jetter here and you fold his wings back. Actually, you don't do that, I'm lying. You fold the front back, then you fold those clothes back into stone form, but instead you split it on the back, which is now the front, and you get a pair of legs. And you take Pink here, and this one always messes me up. I'm not sure why, but you fold that forward, you split the back pieces to form little hands, and then you fold the head up and out. It pops up a bit, but it's not like hugely noticeable. But then you see here there's a little indentation, and there is like the hinge. That's where they connect. So if I could, it doesn't have like a satisfying click or anything, but you get Sky Mage, which is pretty cool looking, and it's weird to see like Pink be almost the star of the show in a mecha. The helicopter blade, the propeller spins just like it should. You don't have any articulation with the arms going forward and backwards, but you can split them a little bit. But it's a neat looking thing. It reminds me of like the fairy, the sprite from Mystic Force and Mage Ranger. I just really like how it's very easy to put together. It's simple, but it's something new. Let's see if you can see the face. I just like it. I think it's really neat. So, and it's cool that they give you this option. But clearly, if those two combine, the other three must do something, right? So we're gonna come over here and take old red, and we're going to, let's see if I can not mess this up. Put it back into stone form, but then rotate him and pull that down, and then just split him here at the bottom. So I'm gonna pull this back a little bit and just try to give you a better view. Move Sky over here, but you can see what I mean. Like he already forms the majority of the body, but you take yellow and you see the white on it. You actually just rotate this completely around to where the two white pieces match, and then push this down and out. You can kind of position it how you want, but it forms a fist. And then there's the peg hole, and it just snaps right on there. And you get the smallest arm known to man. Definitely gives me like Operation Overdrive, Bokinger vibes, which there's some back and forth on whether this is a anniversary season or whatever. I don't care to get into it. I don't care. Just give me more toys. But it does remind me of that. There's a lot of things in the designs and in what I've seen of the show that do kind of make you think, oh, this is a neat callback, but I'm not sure it's an anniversary season. But I really don't want to get into that because there's plenty of people arguing about it on the internet already, and y'all know how that goes. So green is pretty simple to do. I mean, I already showed it to you pretty much, but whoop, there you go. He's transformed, or in this case she, because green is a lady. But there's a peg here, and there's a joint here, and for some reason it always feels like it should be farther up than it is, but it just connects there, and you get land mage. So you've got sky and land, which is pretty cool. He's got some articulation. You can move his arm up and down. There's a joint there, so you can kind of move it in and out. I mean, you can't kinda, you can. And shovel can do the same thing. So again, it's a short arm though. It's a little weird, but it is what it is. I kind of like how green is just kind of hanging off to the side here, rather than being what I kind of assumed it would snap on here and then the back would kind of just fold over. It's a different way to handle it. So it's pretty cool. And like I said, the idea of getting two individual like little mecha before getting the big combination is pretty neat. So I do like that. But now we can combine them into the full show, the full package. I don't know. What are words? So you're going to split these two up. This part, like I said, always kind of confuses me. I'm not sure why, but that's just kind of how it works. I don't know why this always messes me up, so. Well, it's upside down first of all, so that's not gonna work. Why is this always, I don't know why this confuses me so damn much. There we go. So what gets me is this part is on a joint, and then the head is on a separate joint. So for whatever reason, my brain cannot process that. So instead of folding it up like this, which I know isn't super helpful, you just fold the head up. And then you put the arms slash the back of the propeller in this weird V shape. Now this is something I don't like about it. Not necessarily the positioning, but like I said before, the propeller is really flimsy for me. And I'm gonna try and let you see, but right here, there's these little tiny indentations. I don't know if you can see those, but it's like right there. And then of course the other one has one too. The screen on the camera is so small, but you should be able to see it. So you've got that, but then here on the hands slash back pieces, the indentations fit into here. They don't really completely snap on, they just kind of hold on. And I don't super like that because it doesn't do a great job of holding this thing into place. I've had it pop out a few times. I don't know if that's just mine or if I'm just bad or I'm missing something, but that's it. So like I'm always afraid of popping this out, so I try to be super careful with it because I can't tell you how many times I've had the blade pop off. But yeah, you do it like that, and then you take the bottom here and you just plug it in to the front. So see, if you try to adjust it at all, it just kind of comes off. I don't like that, but it doesn't ruin the look. It's just I've knocked these out of place so many times. So you've got that. Something else I kind of go back and forth on with Blue is he is a part of the combination, but he's kind of like the Condor from Lost Galaxy, in that he's a weapon more so than actually a part of the Megazord. Though the Condor clips to the back and gives him wings, but Blue is 100% a sword. So you like fold him back out and split him open, and you can rotate this piece out to become a handle, and then rotate, or not rotate, but kind of flip those back. And then there's a little switch right here. Whoops. And you just pop that up and a blade pops out. Now, I mean, it's fine that it's a sword, but it almost feels secondary to the Megazord. Like it's 100% a weapon. So, I don't know, maybe some people like that. It's not really that big to me, but you can see the blade. It works. I don't hate it. I just kind of flip-flop if I like it or kind of just don't care. But wait, you say, he's got the same head from Land Mage. That's not very exciting. No, I don't. He got another head in there. Boom. There you go. You've got Kiramaizin. So, pretty cool looking toy. He's one of those, I'll zoom into the head for you so you can see. He's one of those that I think because of the way they do the fight scenes on TV, he lights up and they're at night and he just looks super sparkly and cool and LED lit, and it would have been kind of neat to see LEDs in here. I've gone on record in saying I don't really usually care about lights and sounds, but this is one where I feel like it could have really actually benefited from it. But I do enjoy his overall design. Like I said, it's sparkly, it's clear, it's tacky in a fun way. I just really dig how this looks. And he is a small boy. Like, he is very tiny. And I thought it would be fun to kind of show that because the video review is basically done. I love how he looks. I think he's probably the neatest design we've gotten that wasn't animal based in a while. God, I can't even think when the last not like living creature was. I mean, I'm sure somebody will remind me, and it was probably like 2 days ago, but that's not the point. Like, I like vehicle designs. I'm pretty sure I've said that before, but he looks fantastic. I really do wish maybe they'll do a premium version where they put LEDs in them so you can light them up, because that would be awesome. But I don't know enough about modding stuff to do it myself. But I thought it would be fun to kind of give you an idea of the sense of scale. So I'm going to try and pull this back a little bit and not break the illusion. Let's not zoom it in, make sure it's all the way out. But I have some other mecha here just to kind of give you an idea of scale. So I just pulled some stuff off the shelf. You've got Robo Racer from Turbo. So it's an auxiliary Zord, and it's almost as big as the full Megazord here. Now, of course, this doesn't represent the scale in the show, but just as a toy. Oh gosh, you've got Juo King, which I have not reviewed, but he's actually taller than Kiramaizin, which is fun because I remember back when Zyuohger was out, people complained about the size of the Zord on top of the blockiness, but he's smaller than that. Let's see. You've got the Paleo Max, which is kind of a hefty toy, and it's a deluxe one too, and it's just, it almost double the size, definitely more than doubles the weight. And then you kind of have an Ultra Zord formation here with Battle Fleet. And yeah, it's just, it's like the kids at the adults table. I don't know, it's very tiny. But I want to do one more just because it was silly and I was like, nobody cares, but I just thought it would be funny just to show how Americans do it, because we've always got to be bigger and better, you know? So, whoops, I moved the wrong toy. I'll put it back in a second. Just make some room. God, Battlefleet is heavy. Anyway, so, okay, he's back. Star of the show, right? Tiny, whatever. You got it. This thing is ridiculous. And here we go. Here's the 2017 version of the Dino Megazord. So I just think it's neat to look at these together. Like, I don't even know if I'm ever going to review that, but he is tiny. He is the size of his foot, which I think is kind of awesome. So yeah, thanks for sticking it out with me. This was a bit of a long one, but I really do like this toy. Right now, as the time of this filming, we are under COVID-19 shenanigans, so importing it might not be an option, but once all this hoo-ha goes away, I do really enjoy it. I do recommend picking it up. I'm looking forward to the rest of the line. I haven't been able to get King Express at this time, at this point in the recording, because of COVID, so I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of these goes. Same goes for Roland and Lifton. They're stuck somewhere in the mail. I have no idea where they're at. The tracking number has not been updated. So yeah, but definitely recommend purchasing when you get a chance. It's a super cool line, and I can't wait to see all the combinations that come from it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter. All those links are on my YouTube profile and will be at the bottom of this description. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you later.